Here's the home page where you'll have all of your collections located. The first thing you want to do here is create a new collection. To do this, click the circle plus button in the bottom right hand corner, and from here there's two ways to do this. Either you can create one from a folder of images on your computer, or you can also import a Pinterest board as a collection. So now I'll create a collection from some art I downloaded from artist.lego on Instagram. To create a collection, just enter the collection name and then just choose the folder. From here, you can choose to include just the folder itself or all the folders within. So here I'm going to include subfolders. So you can also choose a thumbnail for the collection, which will show up on the home screen. So I just choose one of my own art pieces right here, and from there you can just press create. First you just got to create the color index, so this will take a second to load, and we're here. Before we get into that, let me show you how to import from Pinterest. Going back to create a new collection, we can just press from Pinterest, and now we can enter a Pinterest board URL. Here I'm going to enter a board that I have with a bunch of cool backgrounds. And then again, we just press create. It'll take a second to download the board from Pinterest and then of course create that color index. So we're finally in this mosaic view. There's a bunch of controls here, but you can just select all the images you want and press generate mosaic, and then it'll take a second to render the images. But once that's done, you can see the images pop up, and from here you can really just do whatever you want with it. You can pan around, you can zoom in. You can also close that control panel, just have a complete view of, complete focus on your images. So if you open that back up again and actually go into the controls, you'll see that we have multiple layouts. There's hexagons, which is my personal favorite. Just decrease the image count so it goes faster. I guess that's kind of too low of an image count to actually see how the hexagonal shape comes up. But if we do 130, so yeah, you can see on the mosaic there, you have the hexagon layout. You can also have circles by hue. This uses the average hue of an image, as the angle to place it on the mosaic. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. But just to showcase circles by hue, that layout a little bit better, I'm gonna open references. This is a collection I imported from a Pinterest board I've had for a while, as you can tell by the 2,000 or so images in here. Color search really shines in this collection because there's a lot of images in a diverse range of colors. As you can see right here, there's just a bunch of colors all spinning around, circling this image. As you can see here, I'm going into the yellows, and you can see the oranges and the reds creeping in. And you can also tell the lighter images are going to be at the center, and all the darker images are near the perimeter. And of course, there's also the blue on the very opposite end, blue greens on that side. So the default search method is by color. You can either use a solid color as a query or use a reference image. So you can actually just pick any color you want. So here's the color picker. You can choose by hue and the darkness and the saturation. You can also just put in raw RGB values, whatever you want. You can even pick a color from the screen. So if you want to just pick an image and get a color from there, you can even create a search starting from there. So if you just press OK, maybe just decrease the number of images so it's a little bit quicker. Just press generate mosaic, and then as you can see, we have a bunch of bluish images all clustered in that blue corner, because of course we're using the circles by hue layout. So you can also use a reference image by color. So just click any image you want from a folder. I'll just use this yellowish image right here. If you open it, for here I'll just use circles so you can see what the default-ish view looks like. Just press generate mosaic, and there you go. I think this looks very clean. All the yellowish, orangish images from your collection. So I'm gonna go back to that Pinterest board that I imported in this demo. So in that control panel, you'll see the two options: create, clip, and dino index. So if you just press that, it'll take a second to create. So clip is best for when you want to search by text, and maybe you want to find a similar subject. So here it was just successfully created. For example, if you want to search for like cities, since it's like a background collection, right? All you have to do is change the search type to text search and enter your search query. So here I'm just going to enter city and then just press generate mosaic. And there we go. All of the images that resemble cities within our collection are just going to pop up right there for for us to easily access. You can also even make your search query even more specific. For example, if I want to find cities in the nighttime, I just enter that, press generate, and this probably give me even better results just because of that specificity. It does have like 200 images in this collection. And so there we go. We have a bunch of specific images. All of these are really great examples of nighttime images. And then Dino, I'm going to use with the art collection I imported earlier. So opening up this Instagram collection and just press create Dino index. So Dino, the reason I'm using art for this is that Dino is best for finding images that are visually similar. This might be really useful for stuff like finding similar art styles or compositions. For example, if I want to find a piece of art that looks visually similar to another one, so I just press the search type, and then for example, if I wanted to find an image similar to a piece of Yonoyama Mai's art, just select the image, generate mosaic, and then you'll see that we actually get returned other pieces of Mai's art. So, because we had that in the collection, of course, but you also see surrounding it, there are pretty visually similar images to that query piece. And even that exact piece shows up right next to it because, of course, it's the most visually similar. So going into the mosaic, you can actually right-click on any image and you get a few options. For example, you can search by the Dino index or visually similar. You'll see that we get a bunch of images just like that. And then you can also search by color based right off that mosaic view. You'll see more images with similar colors to that. And then finally, you can also open up a picture's color palette, which is really cool. Let's say we want a more colorful image. You can use that, and there we go. We can also open an image or show it in its folder. But now I'll just show you all the final bit. We can edit the collections. So if you want to rename it, of course, you can if you want. So you can just say we name this demo. We can also change this thumbnail. And finally, we can delete any collection that we want.